The ANC Gauteng Provincial Executive Committee discussed changes in the Provincial Cabinet, eTolls, Disciplinary and other matters during a two-day meeting they held this past weekend. To give us an update on those issues, I'm joined by Gauteng PEC spokesperson Bones Modisa. Good evening, Mr. Modisa. Thanks very much for your time. Of course, I mean, you know the one issue that really caught the attention of many people, and that was the PEC's rejection of the Integrity Committee's recommendations about disciplining 3 members of the 3 leaders of the party, those involved in VBS, 2 of them, as well, of course, as Faith Mazibuko, who directed staff members at Sports, Arts, Recreation and Culture to do what they didn't think was something that to be done.
Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to clarify some of these issues. And I think, indeed, the elephant in the room is the issue of the PIC report. And straight, I want to say it outright that it's not true that the PEC rejected the recommendation. In fact, we don't even know where this story comes from. And that is why probably it's faceless, it's anonymous, because the people who wrote that thing did not even know the discussion that took place in the PEC. The PEC of Gauteng was made to appear as if it's an organization of people that are not caring for the well-being of the people of Western.
Okay, what was your decision? What did you discuss and conclude on?
The PEC received the report from the PIC. And upon receiving the report, the PEC deliberated on the report. And in its deliberation, the PEC flagged certain issues that it felt that the PIC did not go into details on them. And then mandated the POB and the PWC to meet and clean up the report with those issues that have been flagged. And then once they are done, they will call a special PEC to specifically deal on these issues of the PEC.
What are those issues?
For now, they are still an internal matter. Once they've concluded and the PEC has pronounce itself, everybody will know what were the issues.
But what do they involve? What are those issues about?
Is
it issues of process?
Yeah, it's a process issue.
Is it issues of information that you believe they acted on insufficient information? What exactly is the nature?
It's a process issue. Look, there are certain things that the PIC report, when Comrade Trevor was giving us a report, he made mention of a number of things that he was not happy himself with, which we felt as a PEC that the POB and the PWC ought to meet and assist Comrade Trevor with this thing, because at least they are mandated, they've got executive powers to make certain decisions which the PIC don't have. And the PIC could only make recommendations. The PEC has to make a decision. And hence I'm saying to you, once these issues that were flagged have been discussed and deliberated by the PWC and the POB, they will call a special PEC, they will be tabled, and if the PEC feels that they have been attended adequately, then the PEC will make a decision. You should also remember that the issue of VBS is not only an issue of Mapefo or Boise as executive mayors, but there are other issues that are involved that the PEC felt that they were not properly engaged by the PIC, which then said to go and look into these issues. Once we have done that, come back to us and say, and we're not even going to wait for a PEC, an ordinary PEC meeting that is going to take place in December. We're going to call a special PEC specifically to deal on this issue.
So this is not you saying, oh, how come the report affects these comrades and not others?
No. This is a big issue in the PEC. It was a big issue. A very heated debate took place on this issue. I mean, people of West Rand were with them on this issue. You see, yesterday, your institution ran with a story that seeks to project the PEC as if it's uncaring. It's not true. We want the people of West Rand to know. In fact, you will see once the PEC has made its decision that it's not only about Mapefo and Boise. There are a number of other people that needs to be processed as well.
Are there timelines?
There are timelines. That's why I'm saying we're going to call a special PEC. We're not going to wait for an ordinary PEC that is going to sit in December.
Well, that could be like the 30th of November.
No, in a week or so, they will have concluded the task that they were given, because POB on Monday already met, started the process. They are going to meet, brief the PWC, and then the special PEC will be convened.
Now, some of the resolutions you came up with include the overhauling of the revenue management systems at municipalities and in introducing campaigns to encourage the payment of services by residents.
It's very important that services are paid for. We understand that the economy is shrinking, majority of the people are not working. But we are saying those that are working, those that are able to afford to pay, we need to encourage them to do so. Because it's important. If they don't, the municipalities will never have money.
Well, the people of Soweto have raised all manner of issues. Have you been able to interrogate their stance?
Yes. Remember, we convened a local government lekgotla, and all councillors from across the province were there. And every one of them, or each and every municipality, were saying these are the issues that the communities are raising. So you will see our plan is going to be detailed and focused on area per area. If we go to Tshwane, the plan is that people of Tshwane, this is how we are going to pay for services, and this is how we would like you to pay for these services.
You also say that public representatives found to have interfered in the administration of the municipality should be heavily punished, which may include dismissal.
Yes. Most of the time you will hear that officials complain that politicians are deeply involved in the process that has got nothing to do with politicians, and therefore they are unable to do their work.
That's exactly what Faith Mazibuko did. Interfered with officials who were doing their job, and she says it in the tape that I need this for electioneering.
And hence we are saying to you, those processes, there's certain things that we have picked up that we're not happy with. We're not against the PIC report as it has been reported for the whole day yesterday.
But what's there to still argue on the Faith Mazibuko matter?
It's not about arguing, it's about process.
Information is there. It's all there.
Yes.
All you need is there. So why couldn't you act on her?
Because there are certain things that the PEC will reflect that needed to be processed. It's not, look, this thing is not like you wake up and you say you are dismissed and so on and so forth. If you check the statement, it says there, Faith Mazibuko, the PIC said Faith Mazibuko must do the following. Faith Mazibuko did exactly what the PIC wanted of her, to a point where we felt that she was humiliated to have to go to the department, meet with the officials and apologize to them. The question that
would that be humiliation?
The question that you must ask
but why would it be humiliation?
And this is why the question will be, was it for the first time that Faith Mazibuko, every time she speaks with the officials in the department, is recorded? Or it was just coincidence that on that day,
on recording,
why they are recording her?
That was committed.
But why was she recorded? Why was she recorded?
That's neither here nor there.
Exactly the point. But the fact that of the matters that she was recorded, now it says to us, it means every time these MECs meet with the officials, there's that possibility of them being recorded. Is that how they're supposed to operate? Exactly. That's why Faith Mazibuko was taken. Do you know that Faith Mazibuko has been to Chapter 9 institution? She was called before the Human Rights Commission. So some of these things, these are part of the processes that we want to do. So that when we take a decision, there's no issue that is hanging somewhere, there's no issue that is outstanding somewhere. Everything should have been on the table.
Well, at some point, the Gauteng ANC paraded itself as this morally upright cadres of the African National Congress were leading by example, saying all the right things, acting where it was necessary, speaking out, going against many provinces that protected some of the people who brought the ANC into disrepute. Don't you think you're now?
No, we're not regressing on anything here. All we are saying is that once we take a decision, no one must come back and say, but here there was a fault here there was a miscarriage of justice. Everything ought to be by the book. That's what we are saying. Give us space. It's an internal matter for now. Give us space. The POB has already met. They are meeting the PwC, and then there will be a special PEC. Once that process has been concluded, bravo, I swear to you, you are going to be happy that the PEC of Gauteng has taken a particular decision.
Okay, we've run out of time, but I have to ask you about eTolls. What you say in the statement is basically stating the obvious. Fact of the matter is that there hasn't been a great deal of movement. There's still no real progress.
The issue of the eTolls, you would know that the Comrade Makura and his cap as a premier, Comrade Mbalula and Comrade Tito, the premier has tasked them to meet so that they find a way of amicably resolving the issue.
No,
but in Gauteng, we're very clear. The piece of Gauteng is very clear. The eTolls in this current status, we don't want them.
But you've been clear all along.
We have been clear all along, but we just need someone to listen to us. And that is why now we have been capacitated and we are well much informed by the study that was done by Comrade Sputla and others, and as to how we can argue better that these eTolls, we don't need them.
So you still have to argue, you still have to convince.
No, I get the Premier's meeting with Mbalula as a minister and Mboweni as a minister. So in that meeting of theirs, Comrade Makura, when he goes there, he will be more armed now this time around. Because if you check, we are saying one of the arguments is that in Gauteng, you've got about 55 tolls. Already people of Gauteng have been taxed. Why do you want to tax them more through the eTolls? And 22 of the 55 eTolls are in Gauteng. Do you know how many kilometers of roads that Central owns in South Africa? And out of those kilometers, do you know how many of them are in Gauteng? So those packages are the ones that Comrade Makura is going to take forward. But we are still saying we are with the people of Gauteng. We don't want the eTolls.
Okay. That's what we're going to leave it the same. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much
for coming through. That is Bones Modise, who is the spokesperson of the ANC in Gauteng, on the back of that Provincial Executive Committee meeting they had this past weekend.